Hello and welcome back! Top of the day to you all. Now, some of you may already subscribe to Mike Adams' website and get his newsletter, and I've just received one yesterday about a company called GSK, GlaxoSmithKline. And just to succinctly explain to you what was in this report that Mike Adams wrote is kind of interesting. The company makes, amongst other drugs, a drug called Avandia, which is used to treat diabetes. And reports have been filed over the last year or so to the FDA, the Food and Drugs Administration, who are meant to regulate the drugs that go on the market, about the adverse effects. Notice the word effects, yeah, from a previous recording. Any drug that you take will give you an effect. Not a side effect, it's an effect. And that effect was basically myocardial infarctions. In layman terms, that means a heart attack. And it is estimated that over 83,000 Americans have had a heart attack induced by taking a drug to treat their diabetes. Interesting. And a report was given to the Senate Finance Committee, a 334-page report explaining all the adverse effects and all of the other reports that have been written which clearly show negligence by the FDA, as well as obviously the drugs company that are in the business of making copious amounts of money at your health. Expense, of course. It's an expense, huge expense. Now this is going on all the time, but the wonderful thing about the web is that we're able to get this information pretty quickly. And it kind of makes sense. I know Mike, like myself, is focused on finding the information which can remind you and empower you how to make some environmental changes in your life such that you can take control. What do I mean? Well, just imagine if you started to go to bed on time and you started to redirect this thing to look at what's positive and what's great in the world. I know I'm sharing something which may not be seen as great, but there's always something positive if you look the other way. Your breathing, your drinking, what you consume daily. Like I say, you wouldn't put diesel in a high-performance car, so what the hell are you doing putting a product in your mouth? 74% increase in type 2 diabetes from 1997 to 2001. How come? Because of our lifestyle changes. I was going to say choices, but remember, we're going to be conscious to make a choice. So, if I'm not mistaken, 9/11, 3,000 Americans died when their own planes flew into their own buildings. I've actually been to Ground Zero. That's called a terrorist attack. And yet the FDA can knowingly allow, and they voted prior to this 22-1 to keep the drug on the market, over 83,000 people to have a heart attack and over 40,000 of them to die from it. So 3,000, 40,000, and the terrorist is where? Wake up, people. Look around. Doesn't have to be in another country. Look what's going on at home, please. So I just find all this very interesting. I don't believe everything I read, and I don't believe everything I see or I hear. However, the financial figures don't lie. The financial system doesn't work. Our NHS in the UK is bankrupt. And what's it like in the US? It's along the same lines. That's because we are going about it the wrong way. Rather than reminding people, teaching people how to take control of their health, we would rather give them a pill to treat a symptom. But then we're not too happy with that symptom, so the body gives us another symptom. We're not too happy with that, so we take more and more and more drugs. And usually the drugs that you're taking are to combat the side effects to the drug which is dealing with the symptom. Crazy world we've created! Wake up, people, please! I know you're all not, probably most of you watching and listening to this, you're in a great health and you're already following your own habits which are putting deposits in your health bank account. But there may be some of you out there that are a little lost. And if you are, I invite you to listen to my recordings. Don't believe anything I'm telling you. Go and find out if it's truthful. Go on to Dr. McCullough's website, www.mercola.com, www.naturalnews.com. They're free. Subscribe to them. And then you'll be able to read on a regular basis all about how to take control of your health. I mentioned the other day about what doctors don't tell you. www.wdty.com. Those are just some of the websites that I use. There are others. Simple, isn't it? To take control. Interrupt your pattern only when you want to. And I encourage you to do that, because then you can become the change that you want to see in the world and pass that on to others. My love to you all. Have a fantastic day. Find something funny in your life and laugh at it. Don't be too serious, I keep telling myself. Bye for now.